Hello there, YouTube. I am Wheelchair21, and on today's rolling review, we will be looking at the candy toy Mini-Pla set Volume 1 for Zyuohger, which is the current airing Super Sentai series in Japan, and it might be adapted into a future Power Ranger series. Hopefully. I sure as hell hope it, because for some reason, I really loved the freaking Cube animals. As you can see here, we have our first 4 in the entire series, which are 3 of the main senshis, as well as an auxiliary piece. And let's go down the line. Number 1 is Zyuohger's Cube Eagle. Yes, nice little box cube. You can see already the eagle head, as you saw how it assembles in my Let's Build just last week. Here is Cube Shark before we transform it. You can see most of its actual leggings and hips for when it's Zyuoh King are actually just on the back. It's not as boxy and crazy as you think. Here is Cube Lion, where it actually conceals itself quite well. I like it. It's really nice. The sticker is quite beautiful, even though I don't like the fact that underneath it's very hollow. As you can see, it's a nice metallic. It's really awesome. This is Cube Giraffe, or Cube Kirin, and while I'll have to call it Kirin for most of the video, due to the fact that, you know, the weapon is called the Kirin Bazooka. And this is the headpiece, which actually holds the sword. They give you actually 2 versions of the sword. A small micro one that actually fits inside the actual scabbard, or the actual sheath, whatever, because it's a small little dagger. It grows bigger to become the actual king's sword. So I enjoy it. I like it. I like the whole ability that this thing rotates for the whole little totem effect. And we'll talk about that a little bit more when we go into combining our actual cubes. So, to transform it between cube to animal form, you got to easily pull the head up for eagle, pull the arms down actually, and you practically already got your little eagle jet right here. And you pull out the wings, because the number 1 piece right here is actually your wings. Ain't that really neat and interesting? I'd actually think that these would have been on top for the arms rather than the bottom, but I guess that's just how the assembly is made for these. Not really interested that all the detail is on the bottom. Kind of sad and depressing. But it is a nice little bird plane, and I like it. I especially like how it has blasters mounted in the shoulders of the Mecha. Looks really cool and nice. But it's probably going to connect to other things in the future. For our shark, well, this thing's kind of crazy, because you got to actually pull it open first to release the tail. Then you got to close it back up and reveal, I almost said release, the head. You got the head there. Now this part's the tail, as I said. You got to unfold your little piece here, clip it together. And last but not least, pull up the fin, which is hidden safely behind the actual 2. It's cool because it's part sub, part boat, part shark. It's a nice fusion. I like how they're trying to do all these crazy and weird combinations. It's kind of interesting. I like how Lion just folds right up nice into a cube. Looks really cool, looks really cute and adorable. I really like this Lion. It's probably become one of my more favorite Lion mechas in the past years of Sentai. I mean, we're on like the 40th anniversary now. And to reveal our cube, like I said in the Let's Build, it's like a weird compacted like chair and cot, like most kids in the 90s had. And I really like that design. I really like that the giraffe looks really cool, really great. And this is, I think, our only other giraffe next to Gao Giraffe to ever be made. So it's interesting. And the best part is Cube Kirin, or I should say Cube Giraffe, doesn't break as badly as Gao Giraffe does. So it's nice, it's cool, had the little nice little exclamation point, which we talked about. And so for combining it, really, you gotta put them back into their cubes practically. And as you can see, though, in their individual forms, they are nice, they're adorable, they're awesome. I think they are a little lackluster in some areas. I do think probably it is best to maybe, like, blackwash them and do all that crazy stuff. But, you know, they're really simple as model kits, so I didn't think I should go all out for these, especially time tasking as I drop everything. But honestly, I do enjoy the overall designs because they're really nice, really cute, and very, very, I guess, I feel like they're streamlined, even though, like I said, I've never really enjoyed a lot of the whole pixelated areas to the mechas themselves, but really interesting. So let's get down to combining our actual figure and toy. Once transforming all your cube animals back into their cubed form, stack them into the totem pole. Just pretty much plug them into each other, top one another, and you're practically ready to do the transformation. First off, you want to have the actual head plugged in. That's usually a good start. Unfold your arms, which, as you can see inside the little black part area, is your entire hand. So we're going to pull down our hand, and we practically are done. Next part we have to do is take this little shark face off at the bottom here, plug it into the actual crotch guard to make it a nice flappable area, undo your legs, as well as remove your feet from the bottom here as I knock over the giraffe. Because underneath are these nice little ball joints, these little ball joints and pegs to make your ankles, to give the figure a little bit more points of articulation, a bit more sway, and allows you to do it a lot easier than when it was actually connected, making it a little shorter than it should be. So after finally putting the feet on our Zyuoh King to make sure it's all sturdy and steady, I've already assembled the head correctly. I rotated it, I took out the little mini sword and gave it its actual king sword, the main one that I've painted over in a nice basic Gundam marker. It's not that good of a paint job, but it got the job done the way I needed it to do. Alright, so in its full form, it has several points of articulation, around 20, I've counted, where they've tried to make sure it has the same points of articulation that every other mecha has had for like the last 10 years, and I'll run down it. There's at least an ankle joint, however, the ball joints are slightly loose, so they tend to pop off. It's just to make it easy to transfer between Cube Line itself and Zyuoh King. The knee joints are there, but they're a little bit different than previous years. There's still a hip joint, and it gives you full range outwards and able to spread, up and down and do basic leg joints and stuff. There's a waist joint, which is pretty decent, which is found actually in the eagle. There are elbow joints, but are hindered by the wings. There is a little bit of a wrist joint, as well as shoulder joints and shoulder rotation. And finally, last but not least, the head itself. But it doesn't go too much due to the little pegs up here stopping it. And before we go into our final evaluation, there is this little piece we have to talk about, the Kirin Bazooka, which is our cube giraffe. All you gotta do is pull up the head, pull down the actual trigger, and then just lodge it into your mecha. So, what I have to say about this is, I think this is going to be one of the lackluster mecha designs when it comes to having it in Mini-Pla form. This has been probably the worst Mini-Pla I've had in years. I don't hate it entirely. I just hate that because it's so boxy and because of how it kind of transforms into itself and onto itself, it's lost a lot of the articulation Mini-Pla normally have become accustomed to having. I mean, it still tries to do it by cheating around corners, by making a little bit more areas spacious, and trying to add in an area where that range can be applied, but it's not probably the best one for most collectors. Diehards will get it just to complete their, roster, their hobby. Others, I say skip it. If this is your first time, I don't really recommend this being your Mini-Pla. Maybe go out and try to see if there's cheaper ones of the previous years, or just wait for the next season. So you can save your money this year and skip out on it. As for myself, I'm going to keep getting them due to the fact that I'm kind of a completionist when it comes to Mini-Pla. I love the build. I love the concept. I specifically love Zyuohger's designs with the cubes. I'm not just a fan of the design, but I really hate... I should say I'm not just a fan. I'm a fan of the design, but I'm not a fan of the idea of the pixels. I don't like the whole pixelized areas. It makes it feel weird. It makes it feel like it's supposed to be like a video game when it's about wildlife and all that stuff. I think cooler designs could have been applied in these areas, on the actual breasts and knees. I think that the full action Robo will be a well better toy for a lot of people. If you want to get a cheap and very articulated version of Zyuoh King, just get the full action Robo coming out, I believe, early April. It's about $8. It's about the same size, and it'll have several points of articulation. It'll be just like the Tokyo. It'll just be like the Shurikenjin. It'll be just like the Geki Hatsudayo. So, you'll love it, you'll like it, and you'll have so much more fun with it if you want to play with it. This one right here just falls apart due to the fact that air sockets, they pop off easily. Or the ball joints are just loose and they pop off easily. So, little hole wobbly, doesn't have that, its articulation is vastly hindered, and the boxiness kills this Mini-Pla. Nevertheless, you can find videos like this and other Mini-Pla reviews here on my channel, or over at herotaku.com. You can subscribe to me, you can like, comment, favorite, and share all my content. You can also check me out on Instagram and Twitter. Nevertheless, I'll see you next time with most likely a return to Doyle's DVDs.